Texas Brew Radio would like to thank Vincent, Navy Chief Dent, for his support of Texas Brew Radio. Vincent is a licensed singer, publisher, and songwriter from Columbus, Ohio. He is a retired U.S. Navy veteran and a proud patriot. His style is influenced by performers like Bob Dylan, Johnny Cash, and 70s Southern rock bands. Vincent prides himself on his hillbilly roots, love for his country, and proud military service. Vincent's music can be found on all music streaming sites and right here on Texas Brew Radio.
My next song is coming out March 15th. It's called Southern Peach. So we'll give you a little preview of that, okay? Sitting in this barroom, passing away the time. In walked a woman looking so sweet and fine. Golden hair with a southern drawl. I felt so dizzy I thought I saw it all. Is this real? Yeah. Did I faint? I pinched myself and prayed the Lord my saint. Sweet Jesus bless me with a southern peach, a little ripe, oh yeah, plenty sweet, yes he did. Yeah. There you go, a little snippet of Southern Peach comes out 15 March on all music streaming. Peace out from the Navy Chief.
I guess I should have let that run a little bit longer. We are actually, well, when you guys are going to be viewing this, we are going to be live. I'm pretty excited, doing a lot for songwriters. And as we all witnessed this last weekend, Cynthia has to slow down, but that does not mean I am slowing down. March Madness is happening. The only thing that means is that Cynthia is not scheduling anything. My schedule is open. I want to interview people all month. As long as my blood pressure allows, we are going to do that. I'm excited that Navy Chief, his official name is Vincent Dent. Everyone officially and unofficially knows him as Navy Chief. I'm glad that he's our first one because he's one of the first people who really actually heard bits and pieces of the vision and stood behind it and watched it grow, watched me go from telling everybody the updates to having so many updates. I had to just completely alienate myself with everyone to keep up with them and still couldn't.
Right.
And he jumped in and was like, Cynthia, no, what you're doing is real and I'm going to support it. And as an artist, as a brand new artist, monetarily contributed to the station, and it blew me away because we're Texas. We originally were just a Texas station, and you're in Ohio, right?
That's right. I'm in Columbus, Ohio here, and but I saw you come onto the platform and all that stuff on Clapper, and I thought, well, geez, I'm kind of new at this myself too. I've been playing instruments for about 7 years, and I started writing songs and all that stuff. And I thought, well, I'm kind of an older guy to be doing this, but I still have a dream, of going as far as I can go till I can't go no more. And then I saw you, and I'm like, well, hell, let me try to chum up to Cynthia a little bit and see if she can help me out a little bit. So
yeah, but you've helped us out tremendously. Like, we were able to get mailers out and kind of let people know what was going on in the area, with the contribution you made. And you're every day on Clapper supporting our artists that we're bringing on there. And that means the world to us and to these artists. And with you being new and being so plugged in, it's inspirational to them to see that, they don't have to be where people think they need to be in order to get where they need to go. And,
yeah, that was a little bit of the confusion at first because, I'll be the first one to tell you, there ain't much cowboy in me. I can tell you that. But I am a hillbilly. My dad's side was, the hillbilly West Virginia lifestyle. Um, and so I enjoy good music. I enjoy country music. I enjoy Americana, folk story type music. And I gave you guys some idea of some of the people I grew up listening to, the Southern rock, Leonard Skinner, Bob Dylan, Bob Seger, I'm not trying to be cowboy by any means. I'm just trying to be myself. And, so I know
Well,
you
see,
guys don't.
that's where you are 100% doing exactly what you're put here to do, is just be yourself. The problem is like when my mind slowed down, a lot of things just came to me, and it's like we all ask the same question, like, why is it the same? There's millions and billions of artists out there. Why do we hear the same 12 ones every hour on the station? And it's not even just the same 12 artists, it's the same 12 freaking songs. Like,
Right.
And it's been like proven that they've changed our frequencies. Like they want us to want to fit into this mold, and that's where we're losing good music. So I'm glad that you don't care about the mold and that you're out here cracking it, because I'm with you, man. And God brings good people into your life for a reason. So
I learned that the hard way, is I've wrote 11 songs now. They are, I guess I'd be classified as Americana. Storyteller. John Prime is one of the guys I like to listen to. He's kind of a storyteller, right? And so I write about what I've lived. You know what I mean? I think just about every one of my songs, even the intro there, Southern Peach, that's coming out the 15th of March, that is written about experience overseas in the military, and going into that bar and seeing that lady you thought was everything, and then she kind of deceived you and slept around on you or something like that, so I try to get a little humor in it. I'm not sure if my presentation's right.
Right. Well, hey, we are not here to filter. We're not here to filter. We're here to let the light shine through the broken pieces and create rainbows in the universe so that people smile and that people are happy. And that's really what music is. And people don't understand. That's why they think musicians are crazy. Right. They literally think musicians are crazy, and musicians often get told the same thing strippers do. Go get a real job. What are you doing with your life?
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is that you're healing. Yeah. And you're not only healing yourself, but you're healing people through your healing. And that's the beauty in it. People don't understand. Well, and that's why they're trying to control the music, is stories heal.
Yeah. It's tough. You don't want to be a people pleaser, right? I mean, I could be all over the place. They don't like that song, or they want me to play this song and all that. I'm like, screw all that. That's not what's in me. You know what I mean? You're going to get what's in me. And if it doesn't succeed, well, I'm sorry, I mean, I've held on to a lot of these songs for years, wondering if someone was ever going to like it. But there's someone out there for everybody, I guess, right? Because it's spinning.
I think that a lot of the ball is getting dropped because, and that's why a lot of independent artists are struggling, is because that's not what's in them. Right. They do music to let out what is in them, and they're being forced to sing karaoke on a Friday night, and it's killing them, man. It's killing them. And people don't see it. Like, if you want karaoke in your bar and all you want is cover songs, have karaoke night. Yeah. Hey, you want music? Hire an artist. Like that is music. And all of it is music, but it's just a different faceted music. But people need to understand that music heals. That's why we hear the same 12 songs. I mean, what would be the profit in all of us all being happy and not,
right.
miserable and fighting each other and having to go to jail and the doctor and all that good stuff.
You kind of got to do it for yourself first, right? I mean, don't be a musician for somebody else. Do it because it makes you feel good. Like you said, it makes me happy. It's what I love to do. It's that job that they talked about. Find a job that you always will love, and you'll never regret a day of it. And so that's what I do. I found music. I found it kind of late. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be no superstar or anything like that. I don't even care about that. You know what I mean? But when all the fans hate you or people dislike you, guess what? I still love music, and I still come back to it.
You love music, and you have this radiating smile of joy and peace and happiness on your face Vincent, how many months have you been playing music? Because I know that it has not been very long, and you already have 11 songs.
Yeah, well, not long. It hasn't been months. It's been years. But I started playing. I officially retired out of complete corporate America. I retired from the Navy at 34 years old, which is unheard of. But I took an early retirement. Then I went and worked in the corporate world as a manager of a chemical distribution company, and I did that for 19 years. And then I officially retired full time at 54 years old. So, I had all my ducks in a row. I saved money. I did all the things I was supposed to do. And now I'm in the prime of my life with, I don't have to work. I'm just doing this for fun, but it's full time. And so I've only been playing guitar for like 7 years. Um, and and to be honest with you, I've wrote 8 songs, 7 songs, just while I've been on Clapper in the last year and a half. And I always come back to my life on what I experienced, during my life. And that's what the next song will be wrote about. For instance, if I can just, I wrote a song called Devil's Deal, which is about my father, who was not a nice guy, to be honest with you. Unfortunately enough, I got a stepfather. My wife just passed November 4th. She had a major stroke here in the house. I wrote a song about her, which is called These Hands, and I wanted to write it while I was raw. And people were like, why are you writing a song a month after or 2 months after your wife passed away? Because I wanted to have feeling. I want, you know what I mean? I got to get a recording of that passion, that of 37 years being with her and 36 being married. And she had a major stroke is what happened here in the house. And I wrote a song called These Hands. And, it's the last song I've wrote. And that was like my 11th song, I think. I'm losing count of them, to be honest with you. So.
Well, it's awesome that you have joined Clapper and that we have amazing people like you and Bobby Gossett and
Oh,
Rob
yeah.
George
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Jivin.
Right.
There's a lot of amazing people that are on there and supporting and that understand that we all have our own struggles. There's going to be days that we can't plug in. It's not the end of the world. And it's more of a community than it is just another social media platform. I really love how they take our freedom of expression and protect it.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
Absolutely.
And they support it. Like they literally have contests and things to where, they do deep dives on musicians. It's really like a whole new world when you get on Clapper compared to every other application that I've experienced.
Yeah, some of them are so darn big that you really can't, it's hard to get your exposure, you know what I mean? Where Clapper's a little bit more small, it's smaller. And I've done an interview with like Clapper Sounds and stuff like that, which is just a offset or group of on Clapper. It's called Clapper Sounds.
I don't really know if it's a matter of size. It's a matter of genuineness and the fact that they actually care. Yeah. Like they've put staff in place to care.
Yeah.
Literally. And it's an anti-bullying app. Like they don't allow trash like that. Yeah. I've literally personally gotten profiles taken down for just rude comments. Like when you go back, and I love that you can look and find out if it's a you problem or a them problem, because you can go and look at the last 5 of their comments. And if all they did was talk trash on everybody else, you just block them and report them, and boom, all of a sudden they don't even exist on the app anymore because their profile is gone.
Well, I'm telling you, that's tough to do in some spaces on social media, is to stay drama free, right? But as a musician, you got to, right? Because one, you got a reputation to withhold, right? But the other thing is if you're going to be writing songs, so you can't be full of all the drama and all the crap, right? You got to have a clear mind to write good songs or quality songs or whatever,
And that's why the vision for what we have out at the barn is so important to me.
Yeah.
Being able to, just live in a neighborhood of, everybody that plays and writes the same style of music as you is going to be like a huge.
Right. Well, you're doing wonderful things down there and all that stuff. And like I says, I see potential. I'm kind of I mean, you asked how long I played for, and I told you a little bit about my work history. But I saved money because I had a business sense about money, right? And so it allowed me to retire at 54 years old. And so you're running a business, right? And I think it's worthwhile, and that's why I love to get involved in it and support you guys as much as I can. And I'm sure it'll continue into the future. And you got some great musicians down there, by the way. I sneak in every once in a while. I get a little glimpse of them. You mentioned a few of them that may be on Clapper. And yeah, it's wonderful work you're doing, and we know we don't get paid a whole lot to do this. We spend more than we earn,
Right. I still have not cracked the code of actually creating an income, because that's not why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
At some point, I might need you to help me find some balance in this business when it comes to Cynthia getting a few pennies, because oh man. Once it comes in, I really do just put it back into making sure that people hear our artist stories and make sure that they hear our vision and that they know that no matter where they're at on their journey, there are people that are in the industry that'll support them from day one, and that will network with them with people who care and will teach them the tricks and trades and little information that you would normally pay $3, $4, $5, $20, $70,000 for ridiculously, because they don't want these stories to heal America. I swear. Speaking of America, you're about to leave this land and go hang out with some of our Clapper friends. Tell us about that.
I told you a little bit of history about my wife passing away here for November. And believe me, if you ever lost a significant other, there's a lot of kind of cleanup to do, because there's things she used to do that I didn't want to get involved in, bills and stuff. So anyhow, my break from all of that is April. I booked with a travel agent to go to Europe. So I leave out in April, and I'm going, I talked about on my dad's side a little bit, the hillbilly. Well, my mom's side is all UK, is British. So I have family over there. So I'm going to England. I'm going to Belgium. I'm going to Germany. I'm going to Amsterdam. I'm going to Paris, France. And then I'm flying out of Paris back to the United States. So 2.5, 3 weeks. Trains and airplanes, you know what I mean? And who knows, I may drop a few business cards here and there that I have made up about about this guy called Vincent, Dent, Navy Chief, and someone may go out there and spin my stuff, and I may have a few more fans by the time I get home. Who knows?
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm excited for you to experience that and go on a little voyage. I know that it was hard for me to come back to America after I left and went to the islands, because it's crazy. We look around our land and there's really not a lot of happy people. And so when you go to a country where literally everyone is happy,
don't get me
it's hard to even get on the airplane to come back home, because you got people cutting you off in line already and being rude.
Well, don't get me started now, okay? Because I'm a patriotic person, retired military. I'm not happy the direction this place is going either, and all that.
But hey, we need to hear those stories too. Excuse me, sir. I don't want to get you started, because I know what happens to my blood pressure when I get started. But there are a lot of things. I think one of the biggest problems with our veteran suicide rate is that they don't really know who they're fighting for anymore.
Right.
And that stuff does need to be talked about. Absolutely.
I heard a stat the other day, $20 billion that we sent overseas could have solved the homelessness in the United States, $20 billion.
Right.
Yeah. And
let's figure out everybody else's problems. We don't care about our own, because we want to look good to everybody else.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'll tell you what, my next song coming out after Southern Peach, which again is releasing March 15th, is a song called The Patriot. Okay. And I slow rolled some of these songs coming out, but this tells how I feel about the United States. It's called The Patriots. It's me talking to the government, and then there's of course some singing, and then there's me talking to the people. And so that'll be the next one I'm going in the studio with. It's wrote. I just need a studio acoustics and studio. I'm a one man band. At best, I got my brother-in-law, who is a damn good guitar player himself, but is of a Puerto Rican descent, and he can play the hell out of a guitar. Me and him are gonna come down to Texas. I'm telling you, when I come back from England, and we're gonna do some road time together, and one of the stops is going to be down there to see you and see the event and maybe even participate. And who knows?
Right. I'm glad you turned the conversation back to music, because we wouldn't have been able to put this on any sort of media other than Clapper if I wouldn't have shut my mouth. I'm excited for everything that's going on. I am excited for everything you have going on. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your healing process. I'm excited because I see people that are like clinging on to you and your music and your stories and getting your merch. And I was honored to be able to create that. I know I struggled with it for a little while and couldn't find anything. And then I was just goofing off one night bored, and I was like, nope, this is the one I got to send it to.
And I'm your first interview here
for March. Yeah, for sure. I did an interview with We the People. That was the first really official, because I fought so many different platforms, and I was using this one and it was all right. But the problem was when I was trying to get artists to do acoustic interviews, I wanted them to be able to play their song live.
Right.
And a lot of times when they plug in with their cell phone, it doesn't work. The connection was distorted. So I just was like, I'm giving up. This isn't my focus. The heck with this. I'll come back to it.
Well, we got the dogs.
We're back to it. It's my birthday month. It's March Madness. We can play off that basketball hashtag. Let's put a little dribble in here and get some artist exposure. I'm excited for it. It's my birthday month, and for once in my life, it's not getting spent getting trash. It's getting spent helping people get excited about their journey and tell their story. And
I just love your vision. I love, again, I got a little bit of business sense myself. I buy homes, rent homes. I try to put people that need homes, families that need homes, I try to put them in it and stuff like that. But I understand your vision, your goal, your dream, right? I mean, come on.
My purpose, really. It's so crazy that now that my mind has slowed down. Like, I can think back to like 2009 when I was, my stepdad was working at this factory, and the workers were standing up against the factory because they were not following protocol, and they were letting this toxic stuff go into the river, which was turning the Mississippi River red and killing all of the fish.
Mm-hmm.
And so these workers were standing up against the factory, and of course it's foreign owned, so they didn't care. So they brought in a bunch of more foreigners, and I was the one in the community that was like, screw this, we got to make sure these guys eat. They're right. Like, we need to stand up for these guys. And so someone from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, from the Militant newspaper came down and actually interviewed me, because I got the grocery stores and everything, and they started boycotting the local grocery stores and stuff started boycotting the foreigners that were coming for to replace our guys. They started telling them that they couldn't come to their establishments. Like, we really got the people to stand up for what was right. And to think that factory produced the same thing that's in our bread. When I was going to Aruba, I was like, y'all, like, all these foreigners are just massively eating bread all day. And I'm like, why are you all not fat? And they're like, because y'all let everybody poison you and you don't care. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, you guys have fructose syrup in your bread. And I'm like, that's in like everything that we eat. They're like, yeah, it's made out of corn. What happens when you eat corn? And I'm like, wow, you guys aren't wrong. And so here we go. My birthday, I got a bread maker. I am no longer poisoning the kids when I send them to school with
Well, I've always been, or at least for years, intermittent fasting is what I do. And now I got keto on top of that. And I even do prolonged fasting. I'm basically try to go as much natural, all natural as I can. Hell, I want to live for a lot longer. I got a lot more to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
mean, and that's what I was saying is like, if you let an apple fall off a tree within a couple of days, you can tell it fell off of a tree. I don't know what kind of apple you think you're eating when it's all pretty in the store, but that is not an apple. That is like you are embalming yourself
yeah,
at this point with whatever pesticides and preservatives they're putting in your body.
yeah.
And that's I
But look at
mean,
that. They're getting health tips on top of an interview.
yeah, I gotta try to at least I'm not fighting thoughts and they're actually coming out right now.
Yeah.
So on track. Your stuff you actually do. I got the pleasure of helping you build your website, vincentdentofficial.com. And then let me go ahead and put this in here. Where else can they find you?
Oh, where else can you find? I'm on Facebook, of course. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. Yeah, so you're best to look up Vincent Dent on some of these other platforms. And you'll see me on all those mainstream medias. Of course, my music's out on all music streaming sites. I went with Q Music is who I went with. And, they got great customer service and all that. And, 2024 is full of music for me. And I'm excited about it. I think I'm into 2025 if I put, say 6 to 8 weeks in between each song. So other than that, I'm just trying to build my Spotify numbers, right? Monthly listeners, spins, stuff like that is really important. I'm still trying to figure out the value of some social media apps, to be honest with you, because they all want money to do things for you. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Including boosting your reels, if you will, on Facebook, but I still do it. You know what I mean? We put more money into this than we ever get out of it. I think, I don't know if it's a big secret, but everybody knows you only get like 0.0032 per spin on Spotify. That's about the average. That's 30,000 spins is like $100. But, I got $10,000 worth of equipment here. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Let's ask really quick. How many artists on Spotify get 30,000 spins a song?
Yeah. I mean, I tell you right now, I got 2 songs out there on Spotify. One of them's a remake of my original song. And I think I got maybe 4,000, 5,000 monthly listeners and about 100,000 spins on those 2 songs. And again, I've been an independent artist since 1 September 2023. So I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? But even songs that I put out on Spotify, I'm always working. Independent artists are always working. You promote yourself, no one does it really for you unless you run across people like Cynthia here. So,
I mean, and it's really a business, and a lot of them don't know they don't have business management skills. They're
right.
just someone trying to heal that has a guitar. Like,
yeah.
So that's really why what I'm doing is passionate, because that falls back on a lot of mental health and overcoming rejection and things like that are not things that artists are those 7 no's to them are 7 freaking no's. They're not trained that it takes 10 no's to get a yes, and that they're only 3 more no's away from them getting the deal.
Right.
They see it as 7 no's.
Yeah. And, and other than that, I'm big on just be true to yourself, right? Like this interview here. I don't know what questions you're going to ask me, but I know when I open my mouth, if I speak, I'm hiding nothing, right? So there's no secrets. It's an open book. You know what I mean? I got an answer for anything you would ask me. You know what I mean? So just be true to yourself, and don't expect anything. You'll never be disappointed. That's another one. God bless. That was one of my wife's best sayings, and I take it to heart. I'm
Right.
never disappointed necessarily, because I keep the expectations low. I know what I'm capable of doing. I know what type of music I like. I know that everybody will not like it. You know what I mean? Some people, we get told all the time we suck. I got told last week I suck, but I don't care. You know what I mean? So you got to have that, you know,
Well, when
encouragement.
you need, everybody needs to learn that, like, a
Yeah,
lot of times when people tell us that, it's the projection of themselves and how they
yeah,
feel about
yeah,
themselves, really.
yeah. And I could go out now, or I may go down to Texas and I'm going to see somebody do something. I'm like, wow, I need to learn that, right? You know, that was pretty damn cool. And that's the way it should be between us musicians, is right. I'm not envious because you may sing better than me or play better than me. I could give two shits, you know. I'll tell you you're awesome. You know what I mean? But you know, we learn from each other, don't we? I mean, they even say it in there. Musicians steal off musicians all the time. You know, we hear a beat, we hear a rhythm, we write a song similar to that beat or something like that. You know, we can change a chord here and there. It's my voice, it's not the original artist's voice. But musicians are always constantly taking stuff off of other musicians, you know, just by listening to their music. And that's
Right.
just the
And I
way it
mean,
is.
that's fact,
Yeah,
because you have no idea how many times, and I know you've probably had the same scenario where you're like, man, we really need one of these. And then all of a sudden, like
yeah,
6 months later, boom, it was on the shelf. Like
yeah. I
I
listened to an
had
artist.
that.
I think one of the 11 songs I wrote, I listened to Aaron Lewis. And I said, well, hell, I could do that. You know what I mean? Now, does it sound like Aaron Lewis when I'm done? No, but I got a song out of it, and it's me. You know what I mean?
Right.
He just tripped the thought in my mind, you know, of this is how he laid that song out, is the way I could lay out a song. You know what I mean? It don't sound nothing like him, but you
Right.
know,
I mean, and that's the kind of the same scenario with the film that I'm doing, because originally I when I had first gotten stuck here, someone came to me about doing it and it was their idea, but the only reason I agreed to do it was because it was basically a story of my life.
yeah,
And I was like, no, I already have the whole cast, and that's
yeah,
how it went down. I already had the whole cast and
yeah.
everybody was on board. And um, and
This
then I
one that's
paused
coming
for
out,
3 years, and I was told by an attorney that, like, there's no, I can even take that guy's ideas because there was no paperwork intertwined
right?
with it, and there's nothing that he can do because people steal people's ideas all the time. And I was
Yeah,
like, well, I mean, it's not really his idea. He just sparked, like, yes, that would, because I've had people trying to ghostwrite my story for years, like
right.
decades, and I wouldn't let them.
Yeah,
And so I was like, wow, this is like how my story needs to come out, like, for
yeah,
real. And it's an educational series about the abuse of power.
yeah,
And a lot of it has to do with avenging sex crimes against women, but I
yeah.
mean, that has to do with a lot of the abuse of power is
Well,
us.
and I'm a big advocate of women. I can tell you this now. You know, the older you get, the more death you experience. Unfortunately, right? We're all going to die. We know that shit. So, but my mom right now is in memory care here in Columbus, Ohio, and you know we have 3 of her 4 kids that are local. So you know we go out and see her and all that. But to think what my mom has been through, you know, I didn't have a great upbringing, an alcoholic father or whatever, and abusive and all that stuff. But mom was always there, you know what I mean? And so she suffered some of the abuse too. And so, you know, I was talking to someone this morning about, you know, we used to, for dessert, all we could get was noodles, and milk and sugar. That was dessert. You know what I mean? When we were growing up, because dad drank it all away, you know? So, yeah. So I like, it's good to hear you talk about women and what you fight for or what you believe in, because I'm the same way, you know, um, I don't
Well,
think
I think
we're
that
treated.
we grew up in an era of yes, ma'am, yes, sir. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who it
Yeah.
is. If they're in authority, you yes, ma'am, yes, sir. And I
Yeah.
think that's why 90% of our population has
Right.
struggled with things happening to them before they were supposed to,
Yeah. I mean,
because
who,
they yes, ma'am, yes, sir. And they were not educated that some people are can make it into figures of power,
right.
like the priest and the police officer, and still be not good people.
Right. And who would wash their kids' mouth out with soap these days for cussing? Nobody would, but that's what we endured, right? I mean, what'd you say? You know what I mean? And sometimes a
Right.
little
Well, and I
backhand or
think that we try so far to correct something that we go overboard,
yeah,
like the whole not spanking. Like I get
yeah.
that. And I never did spank my kids
Well, now
unless it
it's
was
all
like,
abuse.
okay, you ran out in front of a car. No, you're definitely going to feel that. That is going
Yeah,
to be on your butt
yeah,
because it could have been your life.
yeah,
You're sticking a fork in the light socket. Nope. Definitely going to feel that one too. I'm definitely going to
yeah,
smack your hand for that because it could have killed you. And I would rather you
yeah,
feel a little bit of pain now and know that mom means no, 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 no when that comes to that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but as far if it's not going to kill them, then they're freaking
The
kids, man.
world's changing right from underneath our feet, man. And we're the old folks now, right? I mean, that we talked about when we were growing up. So
I mean, it all played out in front of us. And I firmly believe that they do play this stuff out in movies before it happens. And man, these movies have been getting pretty wild
it's sure looking a
because we're
lot
living
like
in
it,
the
ain't
era
it?
of the Care Bears right now.
I'm
Like
going.
it's gloomy outside because the care meter broke.
Remember, I'm going to Europe for a reason. Okay,
We're
get the hell
about to
out of
be in the
it.
Jetsons. They already
Yeah,
built the part of it over there. If you go over to Niagara Falls and look across the thing at Canada, that is the scene from the Jetsons. On
yeah,
my life,
yeah,
that is exactly what the Jetsons looked like.
yeah.
Have you been to
Well,
Niagara Falls?
I was way young and don't even remember it, to be honest with you. But my mom had told me we had went up there when I used to live in upstate New York. By the way, I grew up in a small town upstate New York. I went to school in Rome, New York, which is like Rome, Italy, Rome, New York. I was up there during the blizzard of 70, whatever. And yeah, that's where I went to elementary school, middle school, part of high school. And then we eventually moved to Pennsylvania, in the Lancaster County area. And I graduated from high school in Pennsylvania, joined the Navy at 19 years old, and I was off. I wanted to
So,
see the world.
what made you pick up your first guitar?
Like I said, I knew I needed something to do when I retired. I hadn't picked up a guitar until 7 years ago. And I said to myself, I'm kind of a learner anyhow, I'm not going to go out on YouTube and learn this one little lick and all that. I need some structure. So still take online lessons from Steve Stein, who is on YouTube and all that. He's from one of the Dakotas, North Dakota, I think, or something like that. Phenomenal guitar player. And I took like music theory through him. I took, basic strumming, basic chord progressions. And then, I needed a solid foundation. And I figured now I understand how music is formed and, the key of whatever and the chords within each key. And then I said, well, shoot, I can write a song, I think. And what do you know? One song became 11 songs or 12 songs now. And I still go back there, and practice techniques and listen to his words. So if you don't know Steve Stein, he's an amazing guitarist, little short guy. I don't think he's but 5 feet, 5'1", with his hair is half as tall as he is, long rocker hair. And but he is phenomenal on guitar, especially electric and lead guitar, and a great teacher. So he breaks it down with simplicity, which is what I needed.
Right. Yeah, there's so many tools out there. People go look for
Yeah, there
them.
is. Yeah.
The internet is definitely has it's a curse and a blessing. Let's just
Yeah,
say that.
yeah. And I'm a well-disciplined, focused individual, right? I mean, I got my goals. My only goal on social media, to be honest with you, is to be a better musician and a better guitarist. Um, and I stay focused on that. I don't, and I typically don't stray from it. I knew I had to learn how to play guitar first, and then when I got guitar comfortable with that, and playing, and I do a little lead myself on electric and stuff. I'm no Steve Stein by any chance. Then I said it's time to work on vocals. And so I've been taking vocal lessons now, some 17, 18 sessions. with a lady online in Florida, and I have basically weekly lessons. Every once in a while, I take a break and stuff like that. So I knew I had to tie the two together and understand how vocals have got to match the guitar and the key. I got to be in the right range. And I got to sing in the key of C and G and F and whatever. So I just put the two together, and it's work in progress. It still is. I'm trying to be a better version than I was last month.
Mhm.
So
As we should always. The definition of no growth is death.
yeah, just keep doing it until the clock runs out. Believe me, because you don't want to be one of those people sitting in a hospital bed in the old folks' home wondering, "Boy, I should have did that." Right?
Right?
I think I've taken music further than anybody in my family. And probably generations back, you know what I mean? To even get on Spotify, no one's ever done that. So, and to write 11 songs, no one's done that in my family. So,
Right. I want to show everybody these cool merch shirts that you have available on your
yeah,
site real quick.
cool, yeah.
They
Yeah.
look good on everybody.
Yeah, I've probably given away more than I've sold, to be honest with you, but I don't care. I really don't care. And the khaki, there's a khaki color, and it looks amazing. DJ Randy on Clapper bought one, and I saw it on him, and I thought, oh, it looks sharp. So yeah, a little heritage to my Navy career, if you will. I retired as a chief petty officer, and there you go. And
Heck
designed by who? Who designed that logo?
Oh, Texas Brew Radio. Cynthia
That's
did.
right. That's right. I love it, man.
Yeah.
And a few girls have bought it online and saying I'm one of Navy's angels.
Well, and I built your site and also taught you how to update all your stuff. So now you can go in there and do whatever you need to do.
Yeah. Last time I did anything with websites, I was doing HTML back in the day.
I still have in my head, do you remember typing class in 5th and 6th grade where she was like ASDFJK
I had to learn it in the Navy.
Space enter.
I had to learn it in the Navy, to be honest with you, because of my job. I was a financial type guy. Storekeeper is what they call them. They in charge of all the supplies on a ship, inventory. But anyhow, they had me in typing class in the Navy, and then they covered over your fingers with a piece of paper, and you're like, where the hell is that key at? You know what I mean? So you had to be able to type 70 words a minute or something like that before I could pass that class. And then I hardly ever used it thereafter, but
right. I don't know. I can still type over 30 words per minute. Still, because of that class, well over 30 words per minute.
Today's teenagers can do probably 100, 120, no problem.
I guess it was 65, whatever the requirement is for typing.
I think it's 60, 65, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I know I go over the requirement. I don't know what it is. I know that there's a typing, the typing.com. You can go test your speed. I think I might do that after we get off here. Just for giggles.
Well, what else you got for me? Anything?
I don't know, man. I know I'm looking forward to I just want to go ahead and plug that we do have those networking events the second Saturday of every month at Hilltop Barn. Everybody can come out, whether they have an event they want to advertise, business they want to get exposure for, whether they're a songwriter, no matter what they got going on. If they got some good news to share, we need that. We need that in our lives. Yeah. I have it set up to where now I have someone else hosting the show so that I can do interviews with people at the show. And then Joko's also doing interviews. They started a podcast for us just for people that come out and support. So I'm looking forward to that. Then we have that Billy Joe Shavers statue fundraiser talent search June 15th in Mejia, Texas. And our Kumbaya Fest songwriters seminar retreat I'm super pumped about because we have 2 mainstream artists and a Tejana country artist that has Grammys that want to come and do speeches that I'm pretty sure are confirmed, but not 100% yet. And man, we have bands from Kansas and Michigan planning to come down. And then we have the first annual music festival, and that's for anybody in the industry. Buy a $20 ticket and set up a booth. liquor distributors, anybody, everybody. Let's just have a great time and celebrate music. Texas and Nashville have been like in this constant battle of who has the bigger music scene, and Texas just surpassed Nashville. And Fort Worth and Austin are our two biggest cities for music, and there have been 6 live venues closed in Fort Worth since November. And
Wow.
so that's kind of what the music festival originally started as. I know a bunch of models, obviously. My previous profession is not a secret anymore. Not that it ever was, but there's a need for artists to have models that, they know how to model. They know, like, they're not the neighbor's cousin's girlfriend because she was cute that's going to end up in some small town drama. So it originally was just a merch photo shoot opportunity for artists, but when we did our trade shows, we had basically, so anyone that had black light carpet or bar furniture, or so like this instance would be related to music instead of models. It would be, still the bar furniture, the liquor distributors, the guitar manufacturers, anybody that's music related, and then anybody that's business related too, because these artists need to have somebody out there to hear their music. And we're going to have tons of radio out there. I know that. And we aim to have a different song circle for each genre, so that the stations for each genre would be all at the one spot. And then everybody would just take turns performing in front of all of those cameras that were live.
Exciting stuff.
Because then everybody can just go walk around the farm and just get a whole different groove everywhere they move. It's going to be so great. And we actually have in the works a music academy. It's already established. It's already in the same town. But the difference between performing in a classroom and performing in a big 4,000 square foot venue that has amazing sound and games, and it's just, I think we're going to be having a music academy out there from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday at the barn. Pretty excited about that. I am actually going to make that phone call and see what I need to do to solidify that. It might happen in April because I know that they're on a month-to-month now. But man, there's so many amazing things in the works. I'm so glad that I got to hop on here and chat with you. I'm going to do my best to stay plugged in with you a little bit better.
Well, I appreciate everything you've done for me. And like I said, when I get back from Europe, I'll definitely, unless something drastic happens here, I plan on getting a little road time with me and my brother-in-law and coming down there and supporting, and maybe we get to perform a little bit or something like that. And,
heck yeah, you ordered a Jokes and Strokes for Folks t-shirt, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you get it yet?
No, I didn't. Hopefully it'll come in the mail next couple of days, but I know how it works.
It should be.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I need to go check and see if our neighbors got ours. I ordered them for the kids and accidentally sent them to the neighbor's house.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I look forward to it. I look forward to airing this interview. And if you have a business, an event, anything, just call me. Let's do an interview. We are entering March Madness. It is my birthday month, and I'm ready for it. Let's tell your story.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate everything, and I'll sign out with my typical peace out from the Navy Chief.
Love it. Y'all have a great one, and don't forget, tune in to Texas Brew Radio.